Good night, people. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another Wine Glass Conversations. Let me go ahead and share this out. Let me share. We are waiting for Miss Card to come on, aka Original Chinese. All right. All right. Okay, y'all, she's on. On my jazz. I had to use my mom's iPad and she doesn't have the jazz that I normally have. I don't like jazz music that has voices. Hey, Mo!
Hi.
How you doing?
Let's catch the flow of the light.
Yeah. Go ahead. Did you share out your live already?
Yeah, hold on.
Make sure you share that so we can have our people. Hi, cousin.
Greetings.
I'm so excited,
You know.
guys.
Yeah.
We have Empress Original Chinese on tonight with
Thanks
us.
for
She's gonna
having
share.
me.
She's gonna share her herbal journey, being an herbalist and living that lifestyle. I'm so excited for you guys to hear about it. You ready,
Yeah.
girl? How come I can't see you? Put your face
Hold
shit.
on.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm sharing. I'm sharing.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I couldn't go live for a long time. So I'm just
Oh,
now figuring it out.
how come?
I don't know. They always say I'm posting something that goes against the guidelines. I
Oh,
guess, because most times when I post, it's daytime and you hear the birds or the dogs barking or something. So it's always
yeah.
something. I just,
Or they just don't want you to post the herbal stuff. They don't want you healing the people.
yeah, because that's all I share.
Yeah, that's literally that has to be it because everybody has dogs and birds in their background. So
Some kind of conspiracy.
exactly. They don't want to put the people them on.
Uh, let's
So
do it the right way.
right?
Blessed
Shoot.
love, sister.
Yes.
Thanks for
Oh,
having
Empress
me.
Ellis. Okay. So I didn't pour up yet because I have what you gave me last night. Tell me what this is again.
That is, I made that as a 420 special, as a herb day special. So
Wait, so
it's,
herbs not this?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it's fermented though,
Okay,
because
what
that
exactly does that
the
mean? Like it's
base of that I've had the it's sorrel. The base is sorrel, hibiscus, and the base
okay.
I've had the base fermenting and keep adding to it for 4 years now. So that's how it turned into the natural wine,
I'm
because it's all
scared.
fruits. No, it's great. It's also healthy. It's beneficiary. So if you have sinus and now, even though we're almost over spring,
Yeah.
but it's good for that as well. I knew you were gonna save it. I don't have that. I just have some regular sorrel wine. That's all I have.
Okay. All
So
right,
that's
but that
what we're
can
gonna
work.
pour. That can work.
That can work. All right, so let me pour up. I am so excited. I'm gonna drink off. Let me pour half of it for now because I don't know how I'm gonna feel in the next 20
Save
minutes.
it. Maybe you have someone
Ooh.
who really love your way and say, "Oh, I gotta share this with you." So
And
save a
get some
little.
more. It tastes
Yeah.
so good. I know I'm gonna come get some more.
So that's all
Okay.
fruits.
Okay.
That's yeah. So there's grapes in there too, and I added some turmeric, and there's red reishi mushroom,
Mm-hmm.
and I added fever grass,
Okay.
lemongrass. So that's what I
Oh.
use, like, as how when you're making juice, you use water to stretch it, make
Mm-hmm.
the juice, the fruit thinner. So I use the
Mm-hmm.
lemongrass as a thinner to water it
It's
down.
And it tastes so good. I'm trying not to drink it too fast. It tastes
Hmm.
really good.
It's
It's
good.
already this cup is already done, almost
Mhm.
done. So let's get started because I do want to introduce the other product that you gave me as well, and so that you could tell them about it as well. But before we go there, I want to just basically start off with, as everyone doesn't already know, this is original Chinese, and she is an herbalist, and she makes and creates different products for the body and just in the physical as well, like accessories and those type of things. And she also owns own like your own pet, how you
Yes.
call it, petting
Pet store. It's a
pet
pet store.
store. Yes, yes, yes. So she's everything earthly. And a quick story on how I met. I want to just say Carlene. I'm going to say Carlene
Yes,
because
that's
that's
fine. That's fine.
how I met Carlene was literally years ago. I don't even remember if you. I don't know if you remember how we met,
I
but
do.
you do. I
I
was
do.
just telling. I was just telling my mom, but because this is wine glass conversation, we're gonna keep it 100, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
I met. I want to say this was probably 2014, and I was
yes.
dating a guy that she knew as well. And we were at a specific class. We're not going to talk about what the class was about.
Hmm.
And I
Right?
met her there, and her energy and her spirit was just so welcoming. And normally, if a woman is around and they know your guy or whatever, you're like, who is this person? But her spirit was just so welcoming. Every time she seen me, she showed love, and I had the opportunity, I think, to go to your last. How old is your youngest?
No, that's my boy that's about to be 8.
Damn, that's true. It was about 8 years ago. That's your
Yes.
youngest, right?
No, I
You have another
my baby is 3. She's
baby?
gonna be 4 in June. And then I
You
have
you
one in
must
the
have
middle.
hit that pregnancy.
No,
How I didn't catch
no.
that one?
And there's the boy after that in the middle. He's 5. He's gonna be 6.
There was two after.
Yes, after the baby shower.
Oh my!
Yes.
Well, I got to go to your
I
8 year
keep
old baby
busy. I
shower.
keep, but because it's sometimes you don't even know because I operate on the same frequency. I move
You
around the same
do.
way. I
Yes,
still
like
do
you
what I
you
gotta
you don't
do.
show, you don't complain, you don't nothing. It's just I don't, and you don't take much pictures of you, and you're very personal. Is also what I love about you. But uh you're also out there as well when it comes to your business. But
Yes.
that is a good trait to have because people normally when people pregnant and they're going through it, a lot of times it's like they complain all the time, and
Mhm.
you never show that. So I honestly I thought that was your last
No,
baby.
so it's 4,
Wow.
2
Okay,
girls
so
and
yeah,
2
that
boys.
was yes, and I got the opportunity to go to your baby shower, and I remember the theme. It was the Rastafarian theme, and I was like, damn, it was a really good experience. And after that, we just kept in contact. It was always good vibes when we see each other. And I love to meet people like you that we have longevity. You know what I mean? Like it's always good vibes. So,
Substance.
um, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes. So
yes.
tell the people, let's talk about, how original Chinese, was birthed. Like, let's talk about your childhood and how you came up.
Well, I was born in the good old country, Lucy, Hanover, Jamaica, WI.
All right.
That's where that's where I grew up. That's where I was raised. I came here when I was 21. So
Mm-hmm.
I was already a grown woman. I It was in the country. Yeah, Jamaica is a
Mm-hmm.
country, but where I was born and raised was the country. But
Uh-huh.
for the most part, childhood in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
it was the bushes. My mom, she grew up Rastafarian further in the country from where I was born. And
Mm-hmm.
then my dad, he was raised on a farm. So, for the most part, what I am now is what I was
It
then.
was rooted.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
rooted.
Days of
So,
your when you're your youthful days, you had your time when you were figuring yourself out, stuff like that.
Right.
But for the most part, as far as my roots,
Greetings.
that's that's me.
Yes,
Hi,
yes.
Joey. That's
So,
me.
so, so the interesting thing about that was you said two things that I want to touch on. You said that throughout life, I guess in your early adult years was where you're trying to find yourself. Because I did do a deep dive, which everybody knows that I bring up the photos, and I got to see photos of you, when you were younger, and I said, oh, well, she was a party girl. She was, you know,
Yes.
living life. And because when I see you and I speak to you, and whenever I'm in your energy space, it's more so of this calm, just down to earth type of spirit. So that person was in there under
But
the
even
level.
then, because when you're around your peers, when you're around your peers, I've always been that person. I've always been that energy. So I like to have fun. That's my
Yes.
neighbor, the truck.
No worries, no worries, no
I like to
worries.
have fun, even
Yeah.
now. But the difference is now I'm a mom, and I just reserve my energy for my kids,
Right,
for
right.
my family. So you can ask, or some. That's what I'll post as far as with myself, and as personal as it gets. A
Yeah.
birthday. So that's the celebration.
Yeah.
I'll let them have some fun. I'll let them
Right,
have some
right.
fun. Yes. So,
Okay, so a lot of people, another thing I wanted to touch on was when you said, this was rooted in you, because there's a lot of people that are born into a Rastafarian family and grew up the way you grew up, but they didn't bring, those traits and what they learned from their younger age to their adult age, to their adult years, and I think typically it's because of one, coming to the States, and two, adjusting to the environment here. And that's another thing that I admire about you, because you did not fully adjust. You kind of kept yourself rooted to an extent. So, what would you say was the cause of that? I guess to say that makes sense.
well, this um, what you said, wine glass conversation. So we keep
Yes.
it
Keep it
100, we
100.
keep it
Yes,
real.
yes.
I when I was growing up, my mom always had locks and stuff like that. But who who to me was like a real Rasta was my uncle. My father, out of all the kids that came from that family, from that
Mm-hmm.
lineage, he his brothers were like, they are like, they're doctors or they're engineers, but he was always a farmer. That's even now, because he had the opportunity as all our parents to stay here, but right now that's what he's doing in Jamaica. He made up his mind he doesn't want to come here, you know but
Mm-hmm.
that's who he always was. Again, where I said I had my days where I didn't always want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like during school, I've gone to a Baptist church, Pentecostal. I've been baptized in a Seventh-day Adventist church. When I was a little girl, I had a church mom. I was maybe 9, 10,
Yeah.
and my aunt, my dad's sister.
Mm-hmm.
She, when I was growing up, she used to do radio shows like you do, and
Mm-hmm.
she taught at Montego Bay Community College psychology,
Mm-hmm.
and she used to go all over. So back in those days, that was I was born in the 80s, so
Yeah.
late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
From then till now, I've been seeing crystals because she's been traveling to Jerusalem and places like those, Ethiopia. I have an aunt that was living in Angola. She was the
Mm-hmm.
one who really, ever since growing up. That's why I've never been afraid, because you always hear about, oh, ghost and dopey and stuff like that. So I've had all those phases.
Right.
But as far as Rastafarian and my roots, that's just my heart. And that's where I
Right.
feel the most purest, the most truest. That's where
Right.
I feel most myself. So of
Grounded.
all
Yeah.
the phases that, we have, that of all the chapters that I've experienced in my life,
Right.
this is the most royal,
Yes.
because no matter what state I'm in,
Yes.
as far as physically, it's just a matter of how I feel inside of me. And
Right.
all the time, from
Hmm.
from from Joshua me say I'm his daughter, and my purpose, I've just
Yes.
always been like this. So nothing really, gets me down. As far as when I came to America, I was telling someone the other day how conflicting it was, because I saw a lot of people with locks and stuff like that. So there was a confusion, and then
It's a
when
fake.
yeah, when reality slapped me in my face, and I'm speaking to sisters, or I'm speaking to ladies, and it's like, but we have pretty much, we look the same, we have the same covenant. Don't you know what I'm talking about? They know nothing about
Nothing.
Emperor Haile Selassie. They know nothing about Empress Menen. And I believe, you know,
Hmm.
that's vital. That's vital.
Mm.
You know your true purpose of why you
Right.
carry your locks, of why you wear your hair like that. So,
Right.
and then again, growing up, because I always see and I know, and even in when I was a teenager in Jamaica, I had locks for a period of time, and I ended up combing it out, because even when I was going to school, for no reason, people used to bother me. People,
Really about your
people used to,
locks.
yeah. And then when, even since I'm an adult now, and
Yes.
I've been to Jamaica, I've been harassed by police down there, where they say, oh, because they always want to say Rasta have weed, Rasta hide things for people, Rasta this,
Yeah.
Rasta
Yeah.
that. So a
Yeah.
part of that makes me, kind
Hmm.
of a skeptic all the time about the people out there. So
Yeah.
I remain reserved. But you know where I am if you need to find me.
Right,
I
right, right. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And
Yes,
that's the beauty of the Rastafarian culture, is that no matter what, you learn how to stay rooted and to stay true to yourself. So
yes.
I do love that. So one of the biggest things that, when people hear Rastafarians, they always say, oh, they don't eat, Rastafarians don't eat meat or pork or certain things. So tell us what your dietary lifestyle is when it comes to like vegan or vegetarian. I'm not sure if you're vegetarian or vegan, or if you just have a different take on how you go about go about it.
Those are all just new words. I just always kept it idle. Um,
Mm,
During my pregnancies, I had fish. And
okay.
as far as within my household for my kids, I'll fry some snapper. But my kingman only eats vegetables and peas. So do I. I'll eat some mushroom. Occasionally, I'll have a piece of salmon. It depends. But for the most part, it's
Yeah.
just vegetables. And I don't eat no rice or none of those types of stuff. So
Really?
I'll
You don't eat
eat,
rice?
no, long time.
But why not?
I don't know.
Is it personal for
No, it's
you,
just
or
a
is it
it's
just
just a personal preference. It's just
okay?
me. It's just me. And
Okay.
as far as I drink more than I eat, I'll make juices
Mm,
more, especially for maybe the past 4 years.
yeah.
I've had a more juice based diet than eating solid foods and stuff like that, for the most part, because I'm always on the road, and especially with the commitment of having the pet store as well.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, most time that is how I get to do a little bit of promotion, you
Right.
know,
Mm-hmm.
encourage that by making the juices or the teas. But I'm not,
Right.
doing it, cooking nothing to sell. So I just do the
Okay.
cooking part.
Yeah.
mostly for the kids and my man.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, okay. So
Mhm.
what would you say like what sparked your interest of just giving the herbal remedies to the to your people, like selling it and starting to create an abundance of it for them. Like, what sparked that for you? Was it a life change or something you went through personally, or was it just your friends that would come and just say, I make me some of this," and then you decide, let me just sell it? What was your spark? That moment for that.
That, to be honest, I it's just something that naturally arises in me. And my inspiration for sharing, it's solely based on knowing my purpose.
Mm.
So I
Mm.
know whatever, even if I don't feel as if I want to share, it's my purpose as who I am to share.
Right.
Because
Right.
I've already, established that about myself, and I know I'm a star seed. That's my
Yeah.
purpose here. So, how else am I going to do it? I have to express it that way. And, healing makes
Hmm.
me, it just makes me whole.
Yes, yes. I love
Helping,
that word
helping others.
starseed. I never heard that word before. Starseed.
Yeah.
It's like this because when you say it, this is how I interpret it, right? I think of because you're saying it in the same context of saying finding your purpose. So for me, it's we're all seeds that's planted here on earth, and not every seed is going to blossom into something.
Yes.
So acknowledging that you're something as like a star seed is like it's like I was meant to be here to do something.
Girl, you
I
get it.
love that. I
You
got it.
get
I
it.
love that one.
Yes.
Yes.
So I've
Okay.
already established that about myself. I try not to scare my kids or people that surround me, or even you've done your digging on Facebook, so you see some of them
Yeah.
might be on my live, but even girls that I used to hang out with or that we used to go to parties with and stuff like that. When when they personally like started seeing that I no longer fit in here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And there's nothing wrong. It's always love. It's like, I felt that they used to call me a mad woman, but it's okay because I always say, like, I'm not afraid of dying.
Right.
I know death has to come, but
Hmm.
just let me fulfill my purpose. At the end of the
Yes.
day, when my flesh is ready to go, I want to be leaned up back against the wall like this to a tree and
Right.
just go. You don't even have to put me in a hole because I know for a fact where I'm going to be at that age. I can die
Yeah.
where I am and just fertilize that tree. No one has to move me because no one's going to be there. Don't, it's
Wow.
going to be so far away. Yes, the kids might be there, but
Yeah.
they'll know that's mommy's tree. That's mom's
Yeah.
tree. It's fine. You can give me a tombstone, but
Right. Right.
that's
So
so.
that's so deep because you said that. So those friends, you're not really friends with those people no more,
No,
for the most part.
yeah, I still, all women, we're all sisters, and I like to keep it cordial, and I love to see people doing good. So the
Right.
ones
Right.
that
It's just
I
not the
do,
closeness. Hmm.
yes, yeah. But there is some that I interact with every day, and
Right.
I love to see it, and I love to make them laugh, especially the ones because Miss Cat, listen, let's keep it real and let's keep it 100. They have some friends, right? And you'll they'll still talk to you just because,
Hmm.
like, or they'll watch what you're doing and never say nothing, or you give them a compliment and they never respond,
Hmm.
but yet still it's like, okay, so there's no need to keep the communication going. But I guess because they know of those types of stuff don't really matter to me, whether or not someone is quote unquote hating on me or
Mm.
someone has something bad to say about me.
Say right.
That
Right,
has
right,
nothing to do with
right,
Arlene personally. You
right.
know,
And you know,
that's just their problem.
right. But here's the thing about it, right? Because a lot of people don't believe in elevating and not having let me not say elevating, but taking a different turn on life without having a vendetta towards your past or the people that didn't understand, because not every time people are going to understand where you're going, you know, and the friends that you had in a certain season doesn't match the new season, and it's never hate, you know, and with what you do and you know the religion that you I don't know if you call it a religion.
No, it's just my lifestyle.
Let's look connect that the lifestyle that you chose to, you know, make your everyday, make your world pretty much. You know, a lot of people, a lot of friends that, like I said, was in your past, when you wasn't really much digging into it. I've noticed for myself when I switch lanes, I start to gravitate to a different set of people that fits that lifestyle. But there's never no grudges or hate or, you know, malice towards my friends that was fitting my old lifestyle.
You, if
Sometimes,
anything, you would want them to share that joy that you're experiencing, that
yes,
peace.
right,
You
right,
know?
right,
Yeah,
100%, 100%.
yeah.
So I wanted to tap into your children, right?
Hmm.
Um, how many kids do you have again now?
Or,
Four. Okay, okay, okay. So
or
tell me how you balance, how you know go about raising your kids and balancing the business and being a wife and you know growing your four kids. Like, what was like like in a short way of saying it? What is your I guess I could say your
my coping. How do I cope?
yeah, like your coping, or how do you structure wearing those hats?
To
And
be
how do you teach
honestly,
them?
being organized is not one, because if my king one was to be on this live, I'm sure he would be commenting in here, because organizing, that's not one of my fortes.
Mm-hmm.
Though what I do is I just keep them involved, because for the most part, even though my two oldest, they do go to public school, but
Mm-hmm.
I want them to know that's just because at the end of the day, we do live in a Western world. It doesn't matter what lifestyle we choose to live. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, get the experience. But for the most vital parts
Mm-hmm.
of development, having them around me daily with the herbs, with the teas and stuff like that. So at least, you know, my youths will know.
Right.
Sometimes they'll have family members and stuff like that, and everybody know eat chips, or you know, we buy a cookie or something like that. But my youths them already are programmed to know that if someone gives this to you, I it's okay, tell them I have to speak to mommy first to see if this is okay. So, you
Mm.
know, keeping them involved allows that to happen, and that's one way in which I cope. Yes, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's hectic,
Yes.
you know,
And that's
especially.
natural.
Yes, it's
Yes.
easier. It's easier having them around me when I'm doing Palace Picnic Pets than
Mm-hmm.
if I'm doing Created Blissfully. Created
Mm.
Blissfully is personal. I like to
Right.
cleanse myself first. I like to set my intentions, and I like to have like a certain energy in the space while I'm preparing that portion for, you know, for you, or
Right.
when I'm making stuff like that. Just as though when you're going in the kitchen and cooking for your family, you want to keep it, you know, clean and stuff like that. But
Right.
that's how I
Mm.
do it. I
Okay.
I don't get to go out that often,
Mm-hmm.
so I just make my surroundings to how I know
Right.
brings me peace and helps me to balance out.
Right, right.
Yes.
And would you say that's something that you would like to do more, like going because I know with
Getting
having
out?
4 kids, can you hear me?
Yes. Getting
I
out
know,
more?
yeah, like because with having 4 kids and being a wife, I know it takes up a lot of time. Shit, I have a daughter and I'm not even married,
You remember
and
on your
my
last
time is
show you were
like
talking about actually going on when you go on vacation, you can't go on vacation and bring the
with the
kids
kids.
on vacation. You're on the beach and the kids are on the beach with you. That is so true. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't had a vacation since I started having kids.
Ooh, you're long overdue.
Yes, so about 11 years I haven't had, but we've again, it's not a vacation if they're there, but as a
Right.
family, yeah, but
Family trip. Right, right.
I'll have my time. I have a few close sistrins that will have a full moon circle. Or
Ooh.
Jamie was on here. What she does is she'll come and she'll give me a free yoga session, stretch my
Ah.
back, stretch my arms,
Oh,
and then
nice.
I have that shark babe that
Yeah.
she does kids yoga too. That's who
Oh,
helps my
cool.
kids as well. Yes, and I have Trish Earthly Reality. She helps me like just tap back into my true internal peace.
Oh, listen, you guys need to DM me or send me a friend request so I can get to know you guys because I need some of that
Yes,
energy. I need me a
and
yoga person.
Trish is my plant girl. So when she understands my true language of speaking to the plants because she's
Mm.
like a real fairy. Jamie is a fairy too. Shark babe. But she's like she's magical. She's more magical. She transforms. So
Oh my
Jamie is whatever
goodness.
you need her to be, but it's like real harmony and real peaceful, and that's what I love. And
So
I
you
can
bring
be
that to
myself.
you.
Yes, and
Yes.
there's never no. I can always. Sometimes if they come, I'm still in process of working, and it's nothing. It's never no.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go take a shower because someone's coming over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, when they come, they just fit
It's a
right in.
vibe.
So yeah,
Yes.
understanding is key.
Cool. That's what's
Understanding
up.
is key.
Listen,
Yes.
I need me. That's the type of friends that you are
Mm.
supposed to have, man. Because, ooh, Jesus, I need some of those. You guys, I see. Okay, Shark B, I see you send me a friend. We're gonna be friends. Because I need to tap in. I've
That's
manifested
my
this type of
girl.
stuff too.
That's my
But let's
girl.
keep going. Let's keep going. So I see that a lot of times you make stuff for the womb, right?
Yes.
And you do talk about healing the womb as well. And I'm pretty sure you know Queen Afua.
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
I follow her as well, and I actually brought her book Sacred Woman. I started reading in the beginning of the year and fell off on it, but she's huge on womb wellness as well. So tell us a little bit about your intake on that, on the womb, and how to you know keep it sacred and well, and you know what I mean. Let's talk more about your looks on that, your outlook on that,
Well,
and also the
naturally,
products
my
that you make, the products, because I
for
want you
the
to promote the products as well, so they can.
yes for the womb, naturally it would be a highlight because I'm feminine. I'm that's who we are. So
Hmm.
naturally, that would be one of my most promoted products, something for the womb, whatever it is for the
Hmm.
womb tonifying, womb cleansing, whatever it is. That's the source of life. That's the source of your life
Hmm.
daily. It, keep it simple. When you're on your cycle, you're cleansing, you're purging, you feel like you have no life. That's because during that time you're replenishing. So naturally, you always want to upkeep and take care of your womb as well. It brings life, both your kids and taking care of your womb, in order to take care of your womb, you have to go through like the entrance of the vagina. So in return, once you're cherishing and you're nurturing your womb, you're taking care of your vagina as well. And in return, that's also taking care of your partner. So giving life
Yes.
to your partner, because remember,
Yes.
man and
Yes.
woman, it can be a down day, it can be an off day, and they have the Jamaican song. No kids are on here, right? Wait,
No,
say-
say what I want to say.
wait, say a pum pum bring life. You know what the song there?
Right?
It's true. It's true, girl. It is true.
Yes.
So I love the topic of the womb. There's so much little, ins and outs aspect. But again, the two main factors are womb detoxifying and womb tonifying. You detoxify the womb if you have irregular periods, if you have painful periods. I'm sorry, thank you.
No,
If you have
that's
painful periods, PCOS, endometriosis, ovarian cysts,
mm,
infertility, all of that, you would do womb detox. And then
mm,
as far as strengthening the womb, that's where most times you would do like just say tonic. And then that way, when you're strengthening the womb, it's mostly done by drinking stuff. And when you're detoxifying, that's when it's recommended to do a steam, or if that's okay with you, if you're fine with inserting, and you'll use maybe a vagina pearl, or some people are familiar with boric acid, the capsules,
mm-hmm.
or those vagina refresh types of stuff.
Yeah.
Or if you want to go deeper, as far as like removing cysts and fibroids, I
Mm,
do make a capsule that dissolves. It's vegan, and it helps, like,
mm,
it dries up the fibroids, it shrinks it, dries it up, and then it helps you to pass it out.
wow.
Yes, so that's for fibroids, and like if you have ovarian cysts, or also it helps too, because a lot of times what I find now is a lot of people know, but they don't really know, especially women. I'm not. It's just the truth, honest. I I try to at all times make females feel comfortable enough to be open, be truthful. Some people sometimes, some women sometimes they'll come and they say, "Oh, I think I have trouble having kids." And remember, if you've been pregnant before and you have a miscarriage and you have done nothing to pass out that baby that was inside of you, where did the baby go? So now,
Mm,
10 years later, you're married. You're trying to have a baby again. I'm so worried. I've gone to the doctor. But they're not thinking like what's going on. Th- This woman needs to have her womb detox. This woman needs to have her womb flushed.
mm,
You know, but
mm,
they're just thinking about, oh, let's just make all the extra money. So
mm.
that's a
So,
part too
right.
of.
So that is so interesting because now normally when a woman miscarriage have a miscarriage and they bleed it out, isn't it passed through the bleeding?
Not all the time. What if it was a well developed fetus?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it may like, dissolve out, and
Right.
but there's still stuff in there. Like, if, say, a woman have yeast and they think it's just, oh, a little bit of discharge, and then when they actually do a vaginal purge or a vaginal cleanse, and they're
Yeah.
like, whoa, what is all that stuff? It looks like paper, it looks like something. you know. So that's uh, that's all that stuff that's left up in the vaginal canal, way up
Mm.
in there.
So, would you say taking the actual capsule orally um, is better than using it the opposite way, as in inserting it
No, for
through the
some
vagina?
cases, no, like for fibroids, I do recommend inserting the capsule inside of your vagina.
Mm.
It's like a combination of three herbs. The capsule dissolves just the same capsules everyone used to make that boric acid thing. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same way, and but it's a lot of capsules. It's like 200 capsules, and
Mm-hmm.
it's taken over a course of say 9 months, on and off,
Mm.
maybe every 2 weeks before your period. It depends on the severity and the measurements of that particular fibroid, or if some women have 2 or 3 fibroids.
Right.
You
Right.
know, some women have fibroids so big, like
And a lot of the times, women don't know that they have it until it gets huge, and then they're like, "My stomach's not going down," and then they go to the doctor. They got 4, 5, 6 fibroids,
floating
and
around in there.
right, right. So, would you say that detoxing the womb is something that should be done periodically, even if you know that there's no problems? Is it a good way to just make sure that you
Of
don't
course,
have the problems in the future?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
But, long and short, it's always prevention is better than cure. And then naturally, from you, once you reach to a state of womanhood, it's vital. It that's how
Yeah.
it's gonna get that chi flowing. That's a part of your feminine divine chi flow. So you have
Mm.
to have some people say, oh, having your period is not regular. I don't know what they're talking about. So you're not supposed to ovulate. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to pass it out. So yes,
Yeah.
a long prolonged cycle is irregular and abnormal, but
Yeah, because I think Queen Afua was saying that bleeding for 5 to 7 days is too much.
yes, three
She's like,
days.
you're hemorrhaging after that.
Yes,
I'm like, shit. But you know
yes,
what I
3
did
days.
notice with once I started to get older and, take care of my body, watch what I eat, detox and cleanse and do all these things and work out, I started to see lower cycles. My cycles were like heavy, like not heavy, but normal flow maybe for the 3 days, and then it trickles down like tremendously
Spot.
right after.
Yes.
So and before it wasn't like that when I was younger. I was drinking a lot, smoking a lot, eating whatever, and just recklessing out my.
And you take your supplements. You take your
Yes,
supplements.
yes,
And you know, all these things combined. The thing about herbs is you may not notice it immediately, but
right. It's the long term.
continue on that life path if you wanna live wholesome, you
Mm,
know, so it prepares you for what's to come.
right,
A lot of people that virus just passed. A lot of people wanted a quick fix when there was no quick fix. How can there be
right,
quick fixes when you've been living an unhealthy life this whole time? If someone offers you, or say, go drink a cup of tea, you laugh and you make a mockery and make fun. Sometimes tea doesn't mean hot water. You can
right,
drink it chilled, cool.
right, right,
Take your supplements, take your herbs. Don't worry about it being bitter.
right, right.
You know,
So,
do it in portions.
mm, so I personally, because I mean, this happened to me as well. I know a lot of mothers, and not even just mothers, just women that get to a certain age, and I say mothers as in like childbirth has actually birthed a child, because I know a lot of people do adopt.
Yeah.
Julie says their knowledge is abundant. I know, that's why I love her. That's why the universe put us together, child. I didn't know that. You right there in the corner when I do.
That's my girl,
But
Julie.
um,
She's helping me with organization
oh,
and
nice.
creating my website and
Yes.
getting my platform going the way it needs to.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, and you could smoke your herb. Don't worry.
No, I'm
It's
lighting,
free zone. Free zone. Where are lights? Oh,
burning.
oh,
It's
okay, okay.
yeah.
What
I
is
have
it?
I have tamarind husk, the dried part of the tamarind, and I have some frankincense in there, and a piece of
Oh,
rose, and a piece of rose petal.
nice. Oh
Yeah.
God, it just when I'm around, you, I can just breathe. My lungs just clear up. It's like, oh my God. But like I was saying,
Do
before we
you
go on
do you
further,
remember the first time I let you try the moringa seed?
yes, and I actually
Now
like it.
look, everyone's dying over moringa.
Yes, and you have it natural, nice and natural too, and it's
Yeah,
it's a nice taste too.
yeah.
Yes. So for what before we move on, I wanted to also talk about, do you one okay, look, it's a two-part question. For me, it's kind of personal, but I know a lot of women need it as well because, like I was saying earlier, when I had my daughter, um, bowel movements, even with other mothers that had childbirth, bowel movements, they're not the same. And I know one main factor is what you eat. I do know that. But what now they do say that, drinking herbal tea like that helps you cleanse isn't the best thing to do all the time. But I do that because for me, I feel like I get the best cleanse, especially when I know it's a real natural one. So do you recommend for women to either getting into the routine of taking an herbal supplement to go, maybe weekly or whatever, or even more frequently than a week or more than a week? And also, um, do you also recommend, like, what would you recommend to eat as well or to take in to help them to go more frequently?
You mean wait, like if you're pregnant or if
No,
you're
like
just
after.
after, so
Yeah.
postpartum, like within your first six
And not
months?
even postpartum, because even with me, I take a herbal tea to help me go like weekly to go, like, to have a good cleanse.
So you've
But
noticed that change in your body since childbirth.
yes, I don't go as frequently as before. And I hear it's
Yes,
common in
well,
women as well.
yeah, that's why that's just from inflammation building up inside of your body. So,
Mm.
it's always recommended. And then remember with seasons, every season you do a different purge because your body craves different types of food. The weather is different, so you will require like more energy during the summer. So you cleanse your body on a different level. And then yes, it all has to do with what you eat on a regular basis. But naturally, after every meal you're supposed to use the bathroom.
I know, I
So
hear that. That blows my mind every time I hear
but what you do then is what you do well growing up, um your parents or your grandparents are, so they will say give them some cod liver oil or give them some castor oil. So what you do then on a regular
Mm.
basis, if you know that you have that problem and you don't want to put your body through the stress of having to detox on a daily basis, because every time you detox, as far as drinking a tea to use the toilet, you lose minerals. So that's not something that's
Mm.
recommended it for you to do every week. You can
Mm.
do like a major lymphatic flush maybe every 14 days, like
Mm.
3 days this week, 3 days next week. And
Mm.
then you just use fruits to incorporate to help that all that bowel
The
movement, the
mineral.
fiber going, yeah, and your body's filtration system working properly with the water fruits and stuff like that. Or
Mm.
if you know regularly whatever you're eating, just put some oil, use black seed oil. So with every
Mm.
meal, I know it's not the most appealing taste. So what you
Yeah.
do then, don't put it in your food. Just maybe put it in a little bit of water or drink some water to open up your appetite before you start eating. So you squeeze some lemon in warm water. A lot of ladies do that. Lemon
Hmm.
in warm water, and then you just tip some black seed oil in there, and that helps to regulate what's going on inside of your intestines. So
Nice. So do you have all of these on hand? Like, do you have these things for the
yes,
most
I
part?
do.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right. So
yes.
I'm gonna make a trip right back over.
You know I got you. You know I got
So
you.
that is so good to know because and you would recommend that doing that, say I do that consistently. Do I like what would you recommend me doing it every day or until I could go
No,
regularly?
because black seed oil is a everyday thing. You take every day.
Oh,
There are detoxes like for weight loss that yes, you drink it to lose your weight and because it gives a full bowel movement and it really rids the waste and it doesn't put that strain on the anus because a lot of women are scared to use the bathroom because they're
hemorrhoids.
constipated. Yeah, and
Yeah.
hemorrhoids, especially from pushing, from having babies. But
Yeah.
remember, hemorrhoids is like the swollen blood vessel inside of your anus. So it's
Right.
just like two or three veins that's swollen
Mm-hmm.
right in here.
Mm-hmm.
So the less pressure you put on your intestines, the less pressure you put on your anus, the less pressure you put down there. So it's not only about keeping it moisturized. When you eat heavier foods, you feel more
Juicing.
strain. Yeah. So you
Mm.
juice more. And don't worry about cold pressed juice and this and that. Wake up and blend your cup of juice. Do it. If it's citrus, yes, you don't want the skin. But do the pulp. So grapefruit, orange, lime, and my sister
Mm.
said it on here. Turmeric, ginger, and lime is essential. That's vital. That's vital
Mm.
for women.
And I intake a lot of turmeric and ginger teas as well.
Yes.
So, okay, okay.
For your task and your duty, what you do, you need that. You need the turmeric
Mm.
for that natural protection.
Yeah, yeah. Give
Because
me like
you do,
the
yeah, you do here, and even
yes,
if you are wearing a mask, it's still chemicals.
yes, yes,
There's still toxicity floating around. So
yes.
what you do is when you're taking your turmeric, just be sure to use some cayenne pepper. That helps with the absorption, especially how you personally know that you have problems or you have difficulty sometimes using the
Hmm.
bathroom, so you
Hmm.
don't want to add to that. So the
Right.
cayenne pepper helps with the cleansing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yes, I've been using because they have the little ones that they sell, but when I get the chance, I like to blend my own, which is so hard to do. It's not, let me not say that. It's just I have to prioritize the time to do it and be more intentional about it. But I do get like the ones that they sell at the Whole Foods and stuff that they make, and I have seen a difference, especially with my health. Knock on wood, I haven't been sick or anything like that, especially since the pandemic. So that's very good to know. That's very, very good to know. I hope y'all taking notes on this because this is a lot of valuable information.
Yeah. And I see you're
um,
taking your notes.
yes, yes, of course. So just to move forward because we're running up on time, so I'm gonna try to cut down the questions a little bit and probably ask you about two more before we get into the next segment.
Hmm.
So spiritually, right? What would you say is your foundation spiritually, and do you practice meditation? Because that's something that I tapped into 2 years ago, and it's changed my life. And if you do, like, tell the people that what
I
you
do.
the good things that you recommend about it.
I do. It's, that's another part of coping. So I've this is something that's been resonating on my mind, and I'm gonna share it.
Hmm.
You can ask yourself this question: would you
Gotcha.
rather talk to yourself or listen to yourself? Which one do you think is more healthy? Talking to yourself or listening to yourself?
Oh, that's tough. I would say talking to myself.
All right. So
Is that
that
wrong?
it is right.
It's right?
It is right.
Okay.
It brings you more joy because
Yes.
sometimes you can't listen to your own thoughts. So,
A
a
lot
lot
of
of
people.
people would say, yeah, meditating, or you keep quiet, or that's where like the humming part comes in. So I practice that. During my meditation, I'll talk. If
Hmm.
if it's like late at night, it depends on what I'm meditating on. I may even cry out,
Yes, me too. Yes.
So
And it's
it
so
is
vital.
vital. Yes,
Yeah.
it is vital. I
Yes, yes,
use I
yes.
use I use whatever tools my soul yearns for or I feel I need in that space and time. That's
Yes.
what I use. So with
Yes.
Trish, with Earthly, we'll use crystals
Hmm.
when her and I are sharing meditational space. But you can't see someone's heart or their mind, but
Hmm.
I'm not gonna use the word but though I
Hmm.
sense her intention. I feel it. It's
Yes.
even though it's like the wind coming in your face, but to me, how I see things, it's like it's visible to me. So
Yes.
that's crystals. I would say yes, if that's okay, and if that's what you do personally. And sometimes if I feel the need, I'll still draw a moon card.
Yes.
It's
Just for like that extra guidance,
yeah,
right?
just for
Especially
that
if you're going
extra.
through
Yeah,
a
and
tougher time.
sometimes to me that's those are my entertainments.
Yes.
So it will show me like, I'm like, oh my goodness, universe, you're so funny.
Yes.
And sometimes we will laugh about it, and like my angels are so hilarious. It's like
Man,
it's deja vu, but
such a
I saw
beautiful
it
thing.
before. And naturally me use the herbs for
Yes.
meditate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, earlier I said it. I'll do a little bit of yoga. I'll do stretching. I'll do breath work. So I try to
Yes.
share those types of things too, that
Yes.
I learn because all these things are what I'm learning. I'm not no yoga expert. I'm not no breathwork expert. So
Right. Right.
I'm thankful and I'm grateful for my sisters who genuinely share these experiences with me. So I've
Right.
learned and developed like a higher sense of self.
Yes. I was
Yep.
just about to say because I was waiting for you to hit that key note, right? Because a lot of people they don't understand why I meditate or like it was just like what we tapped on earlier when we were saying that when you decide to take a different path with life, a lot of people it kind of scares them or they're just like, wait, like that's something new. Like she meditates now, like oh, you're on this different. It's really just a different frequency and tapping into self. The importance of that. A lot of the times people go about and no not to prayer pray and they have the saying that prayer is when you talk to God, meditation is when God talks back to you, right? Because if you think about it, well, if they think about it, we're all gods in our own self, right? And to me it's when you can tap into that and tap into your higher self that the universe has there for you, you form this new understanding of life and how to operate better and how to kind of dissect situations. And for me, it's like now I have better days when I meditate and I situations that would get to me in the past or annoy me or whatever, with me learning how to tap into self, I kind of learned how to quickly dissect situation and understand that this is just a temporary
You don't let
situation.
it become the mood.
Right, right. Because they have this saying of life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of what you do about it.
What you
And
do
I
about
think,
it.
right, and I think that's meditation, once you learn that and really focus in it along with taking care of the temple as well, it brings you to this new level of understanding about yourself and about the world around you. So I admire that about you, that you tap into all those aspects, including the health part as well.
Because plants are a vital part in everything.
Yeah.
Um, I shared this last week. I had a little, just a little group, maybe 4 or 5 of my sisters. They were over,
Hmm.
and I was sharing with them about the plant, susumber, the susumber
Hmm.
plant.
Right.
And I said, growing up, I would always hear, because you've been hearing about other places, and they say, "Oh, Haitians scared of susumba because it's like it's something have to do with voodoo or whatever." But then Jamaicans eat susumba. We eat it. We make it in
Listen.
a stew. So you know
Right.
it's the same thing. When you're making rice and peas, you
Right.
use pimento, you use bay leaf.
Right.
It depends on your energy. You might put some clove in there. You
Hmm.
still use some hot pepper. You use garlic. All these things are meditational tools,
Mm.
because
Mm.
you use a bay leaf in during a full moon. You can use a bay leaf to set your intention and to clear your path. You write your intention on the
Mm.
bay leaf and you burn the bay leaf. But look, we eat it. I eat it. That's what I
Yeah.
know. So
Right.
that's
Right.
a part of me in the beginning, where I say I know I'm magical. It doesn't matter what anyone feels about me. This is just what I know about myself personally.
Yes. A lot of the time, really and truly, people have, because earlier my friend sent me a video about different Jamaican, what do you call it? Like when they say walk through your door
Oh,
backwards so nothing can follow
Proverbs.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
like different
Proverbs. Yeah.
of those
Hmm.
conspiracy theories or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call them.
Yeah.
And
Proverbs. Yeah.
I'm listening to them and I'm saying, we grew up off of this, but you're really guided by your mind. It's what you believe.
Yeah.
Because if I'm thinking that, oh Jesus, I walked through my door and I didn't turn my back around, nothing gonna follow me that knows. Like that
Yeah.
shit gonna fuck with me all the rest of the night, right? It,
But
it really goes. Hmm.
that's a part of manifestation. That's a part of, like, what I do in healing for traditional Chinese medicine, yin and yang, night and day. That's you
Yes.
manifesting. So it's what you're bringing
Mm.
out.
It's what you put. Yes, yes. You're literally
Mhm.
guided by your mindset.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then remember, our ancestors and our forefathers, they grew up in a different time from us. So
Yeah.
they always operated on a frequency of having to fight,
Yes.
having to protect yourself. So a
Yes.
lot of times that's truly where our fears come from, where if we're
Right.
hesitant towards doing something, and then we say,
Yes.
"Oh, I'm going to ask my elders what to do." And then that little voice inside of your heart will say, "Don't do it. You're safer here. You're safer
Mm.
here. You're safer
Mm.
here." But that's
Yeah.
because that's the true frequency that they operated off of. That's fine and okay, but this time is no.
Right.
You can't
Right.
do things with fear.
Right. Yes.
So it, we all have that energy floating around inside of us. I'm talking about women now. We all
Yes.
do, men and women, but women, we all
Mm-hmm.
have that energy. So, like, now you see a height in female entrepreneurs. Women are
Mm-hmm.
becoming millionaires. That's because that energy inside of them, and that ridding of that fear, and saying, "This is what I'm gonna do. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not scared."
Yes.
So they're
Right.
more of a, what you say, we're all gods. So they're more
Yes.
tapping into that. But a lot of us, there's little or misinformation about the trueness of it. So
Mm.
there is some still misguiding
Right.
inside
Right.
there.
So I before we get to the next segment, my last question was pretty much kind of what we've been talking about. Um, with mental healing, basically, I was going to ask you, um, when it comes to herbs and meditation and stuff like that, do you feel that everything, as far as the mental healing and the physical healing and all that stuff, is all one? Because another thing was I wanted to ask was like, what was like the most common thing that people will come to you about, as far as physical healing for the bodies? And after you do answer that, what is the one thing that people come to you about, or the most thing that they come to you about? Would you say that the physical healing and the mental healing they have to work together, to heal you overall?
Most definitely. Most
Yes.
definitely. Because even with most common weight loss, detox, as you said,
Yeah.
it a lot of times that's being uncomfortable with your diet, that has a lot to do with the mental too. I did a little preview on this before in another show where it that's heavy on the mental illness side, so
Mm.
sometimes I'm not going to say, oh, everyone has, mental problems, but
Mm.
majority of times it all has to do with the mind. So
Mm.
in every part of healing, whether or not they come for a cold or they just want to build their immune,
Mm.
yes, the mental plays a vital part because you you're gonna have to develop that sense of accountability for yourself,
Mm.
as far as, okay, if you don't want to catch a cold, you have to be
Mm.
accountable for keeping up and building your immune daily. You can't just say, oh, I haven't been sick in a year, so I'm just not going to take it. Then when you get sick, you run looking for something, wanting to be better by the next day.
By the next day, you
So
have to make it a lifestyle.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
in all parts of it. It
Yes. Yes.
mental and, yeah, physical. And I
Yes.
try to. So that's why, like, when it comes to healing on certain level, I don't have one base product. I
Mm.
like to keep it personal because, yeah, we're all the same, but technically we are not
Our
all the
bodies are
same.
made different.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I like to. It's always gonna be personalized in one way, shape, or
Right.
form. Even if there
Right.
is a flat base, yes.
Yes.
And I would say 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
When I have a client, they never really they're never able really to see the root cause of what's going on with them. But
Right. Right.
because of my
Yeah.
senses and my intuitions, so they'll come and they'll just start because of a recommendation, so they don't know me. But
Mm.
by the time I get into it and I sit and I listen to them, especially if I'm face to face, is like everything just start coming, and like I just start reading them up. And then majority of the times, because I'm
Mm.
always burning something, so that's I'm always in meditational
Mission
state.
mode. Yes.
Yes. So sometimes when people come around me, I'm not even trying to be no reader woman,
Yeah, but it's
but
a
it
natural energy.
always happens.
Yeah, because I think it taps into those senses that we open up that we didn't even know that we have, when it
Yeah.
comes to meditation. And um, I don't know who I was listening to, but they talked about the power of being a walking meditation. Like, it's one thing to sit down, have that quiet time to yourself, meditate, put your intentions out there, and however people choose to meditate. But it's another thing to when you're literally going through your day and you are still in that mode. That's like next level, and it shows. I think, if correct me if I'm wrong, because you have those traits. You are a walking meditation. That's probably why you can feel the energy and feel what the person is going through, because those senses has been opened up so much over the years, right?
No day for me is a slow day. Even if I may
Yeah.
have a little downtime relaxing, it's always something going on,
Yeah.
with the kids, with just personal life, being an
Right.
adult,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, you know, in everything, I already established that was like my purpose. I can't never take nothing personal. It's
Mm.
it's all it's always. So that's why pretty much I try to limit like showing a part of myself like
Mm.
all that way out there.
Out
So
there, right.
yeah, because I know I'm here to help.
Right, right.
So that's why I said I'm grateful for
Yes.
my little universe partners, universal
Yes.
partners.
Yes.
Yes, because it's never nothing. Even if I'm having a day and I had it in my mind that when I get there I'm gonna talk about what's going on today. All that goes out
Right.
the window once
Yes. Yes.
once we're around each other.
Definitely.
So
Yes.
I try to
Just
practice that.
naturally just moves.
Yes.
Yes. So let's hop into the next segment because I don't want to keep you long. I know you got no kids to go back to, so I'm gonna try to
Girl, everyone's in
hurry
bed.
this
It's
up. Well,
11,
hubby.
12.
Well, yeah, they're in bed, right? Okay, okay.
Yes.
Well, you got hubby to go to, so I don't want to hold you too long. So we're gonna hop into the next segment. And this is the this or that segment. So I basically give you two different things to choose from, and you just have to pick this or that, anyone. Okay?
Mhm.
All right. So sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
Okay. I kind of knew you was gonna say that.
Mhm.
Um, I wanted to make this fun. Okay.
That's fine.
All right. Spliff or chalice?
Chalice.
What?
Mhm. If I had the choice to bubble up every day,
Right.
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my
And it's a
gosh.
different. It's because it's a different. I'm steaming. It's a
Yes.
different energy.
It's a different. Yes. A hundred
Yeah.
percent. 100%. All right. Young or old?
Old.
Ooh, yes. I said old too. Why do you say old?
Uh, just wisdom.
Yes.
Mm,
Yes. You get it. You get
mm.
it. All right. All right. Steam or grill?
Steam.
Steam. Okay.
Mhm,
Everything can be steamed. Herbs and foods and
mhm,
yes,
mhm,
yes.
mhm.
Okay. Love or money?
Love.
Oh, yes. 100%. 100%. Some people choose money, you know. Some people don't
You
care about
know.
love. Some people don't care about it. Loyalty or respect?
Respect.
Yes. Why would you say respect?
Because respect is more universal.
Yes.
You when you carry loyalty, that's like more personal. But at least if someone respects you, they don't have to be loyal to you. That's like friends and friends are you talking
Yeah.
to somebody. I know you and you know somebody that I don't talk to. But like once
That
you
respect.
respect me, yes,
Yes.
I don't have to worry about you being loyal. You can talk to who you want to talk to, but when you respect me, then there's not gonna be no room for no violation.
Yes. Yes. 100%. A
Yeah.
100%. I agree with you all the
You
way.
would just rather have nothing to say
Yes.
than,
That is
you
very
know?
true. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. That is very true. I choose respect as well. I'm big on that. Um, with friends or alone?
Alone.
Yes.
That's danger
That peace
zone,
of mind.
girl.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You know how dangerous you are once you're comfortable with being alone by
Yes,
yourself.
that is true. That is very true. Um, last one, city or beach?
Beach.
Beach. I knew you were gonna say this. You know, I should have did a different this or that with you because I pretty much knew pretty much all your answers would have been, except for the split for a challenge. I
It's compulsory.
All right, cool. So we're gonna get into the next segment. This is the blast from the past segment, my favorite one, and this is where I do a deep dive into your social media and choose
Ooh,
photos that I see and ask for you to give me some more details on it. So you ready?
I'm ready. Are you guys ready? Who is on here?
Right? Y'all ready?
Are you guys ready?
All right, here we go.
That is dandelion. That's dandelion and lemon. I think that I just drank that as a tea. That's good for
Dandelion.
that. I drink dandelion before my period, before my cycle, because it helps keep you fresh afterwards and during.
What?
It makes your period don't have no smell, and
What?
it's yeah, it's light on the blood, and it makes you get fresher faster after your cycle.
Wow.
So during my
Listen,
during my cycle, that's what I drink.
I seen this and I was like, yo, whatever this is, I want some of it, no matter how it tastes.
And so it just tastes like water with a little bit of flavor.
Okay. I never knew that dandelion could be
Got
consumed.
you.
All right. So I seen you posted this and it just looks so beautiful. And if you could just pretty much tell me if this is a group of one thing that is it all for one thing or is it different herbs for different reasons?
That was my setup for Grand Market at Soul Tree. That was
Oh,
just a variety of stuff. So all those herbs, remember, certain herbs can be combined for different purposes. So
mm-hmm.
I see the rose petals, there is saffron, and there
Mm,
is chrysanthemum, there is, I think that's clove, and I see the mushrooms.
mm,
So
mm.
those were just all loose herbs. So even if you wanted to buy some rose petals to make your own soaps, I do have a service where I offer wholesale on like certain herbs, on certain florals, certain
Okay.
flowers of the plant. Yeah, for
Okay.
beautification or for just the oils. If you're making shampoos or hair oils, rosemary and
Yeah.
stuff like that, I do
Okay.
wholesale service.
Nice, nice. This is a
Mhm.
beautiful setup that you had. Like, I wanted to just take a little bit of everything and figure out what to do with it. Because beautiful. All right, so last picture. I see this one and I was like, I have to post. I'll show you this one because I have a special question that I ask after.
Oh, listen, you see where I just said I knew you were gonna find that picture. I knew you were gonna find that picture. Oh my gosh. You see that? That's the country, country, country.
Yeah.
I was, yeah, you see my little smile? I
Yeah.
was a tiny little girl. At that time, I think I had maybe 4 locks in my head.
What?
Yeah, I was a little girl then. I see my sister just joined. Jackie from I met her in high school, and this was way before her. I don't even remember how old I was on in that picture.
And this is
But
when you
that
was
picture,
living in Jamaica?
yes, that picture was taken in a place called Woodsville
Yeah.
in Jamaica. That's close to
Mm,
Mayfield Falls. That
mm.
was the family house where my grandmother grew up. I have some fun memories there. That's where
Yeah.
I learned how to
So
do a
how
lot
old
of
were you
things.
here?
Maybe
How old were you?
maybe 9, 10. I've always been a big girl, like my
Okay.
daughter, because my daughter is 11 and she's big.
Okay, so what would you tell this 9-year-old, 10-year-old Carlene? What would yourself now tell her if you had the chance to go back and say, listen, this is what I need you to know.
I would tell baby Carlene to be patient with herself,
I like that. Trust me.
develop a sense of understanding,
Mm,
because I had none.
mm. That's real. That's serious for you to like really. That's brave to say. You know, like I mean, we
Yes.
really didn't have understanding to a level, but we did think that we did know it all back then.
But the most
So,
important part is to be patient
right.
in all aspects, in all
Yes,
aspects,
hundred
in all
percent,
aspects. I've gone through a
100%.
lot of stuff, you know.
Mhm.
So it made me who I am, but
Mhm.
also, I know that was because of or stubborn ways or wanting to do things or thinking that's the right path.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
I love that.
we actually distracted ourselves.
Yes.
Some things were
Without
never
even
even,
knowing.
yeah, some things weren't even meant to be a lesson for you. That's just
Right.
something that we're programmed to tell ourselves. Oh, if it's
So.
not a blessing, it's a lesson. That's not true. Some things were
Mm,
never meant to happen to you. It's just because you lack patience and understanding and
yeah.
you didn't want to wait on
Right.
what's truly meant for you.
Mm,
Yeah.
yes. Yes. That's some strong wisdom right there, man. That is some strong wisdom. So I um I want to keep going because time is pushing. I always do
Hmm.
this. I get so deep into the conversation that and I go and I keep going and going and going. This is why I know I was meant to do this, because I get so connected with my people.
Hmm.
All right, so last segment, and this is explain that quote. This is when I give you three different quotes, and you just tell me from your perspective the quickest, shortest way that you can on what you get from the quotes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the first quote is, and you might recognize it, but I'm not sure. Let's see. The first quote is, "True friends are like stars. You can only recognize them when it's dark around you."
That's the fancy way of saying loyalty or respect,
Mmm.
because that's long and short of it. What you say behind my back,
Right.
says a lot of about the type of friend that you are to me.
Yeah.
So that's just what I get from that.
Yes.
Because in the dark means like when you're not around. You know,
Right.
like when you say, "Oh, anything in the dark must come to light."
The lights. Yes.
Hmm. So
Hundred
that's what I
percent.
get from that.
Okay, and that was Bob Marley's quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the only difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude.
That is true. That's again where we talked about your feelings turning into a mood. So
Mm.
that emotion now settling where it turns into a mood.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's pretty much what I get from it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it has to do with, how you feel about yourself, because sometimes you're not even your own problem. It's just because you share a space with a particular energy. And it
Mm.
doesn't matter what you're pushing off, because we're all powerful. And a lot of people have so much power in their physical.
Yeah.
So whether or not they're light beings like you, or they're fire beings, or they're more earth beings, or
Yeah.
water beings, especially especially with like earth people and fire people, there's
Mm-hmm.
always going to be that that need to balance out that fire part from the
Balance it.
earth.
Right.
It's
Yes.
thinking about it common sense or straightforward as it is. So
Yes.
that's how I feel. It all has to do with your mindset and where you are and learning to
Yes.
deflect.
Yes. And that quote was by Dennis Brown. You know Dennis
Oh,
Brown? I think so. Yeah. Okay. I try to do it with people that you might know.
yeah,
Last one is, perfect is boring. Human is beautiful.
yeah, because human beings, imperfection is perfect. What's the other saying? You were perfectly made, imperfectly made.
Imperfectly made. Yes.
Mhm, mhm. Perfectly
Yeah.
imperfect made. So
Yes.
sorry. That's how I feel about that. I would take, yeah, I love my animals, I love my plants, but human beings, we make each other. What would we do without each other?
Right. Yeah.
You know, if I believe in the design of what I came here to
Yeah.
see, and
Mm-hmm.
that is man and woman. So,
Mm.
you know, no matter how you feel or what you've experienced in your life, hurt, physical pain, just try not to develop that sense of bitterness till you lose yourself.
Right. Yes. Yes. Trying to be
Per-
perfect. Yes.
yes, perfection will allow you to never love again.
Right.
Perfection will leave you in a state of never having any kids.
Right.
Perfection will leave you in a state of never trusting anyone.
Yeah.
Yes, alone
Yeah.
is always good, but physical companionship,
Yeah.
that's
We need that.
essential to human beings.
Yes. Yes.
We need that interaction to cope.
Yes.
We
100.
need that human interaction. So that being perfect and not making no mistakes, that's never gonna happen.
Right.
Again,
Right.
understanding and being patient with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That quote was by Tyra Banks.
Oh, sweet
Yes.
girl.
I know, right?
She was thinking when she thought
When she
about that
said
one.
that, right? Yes. I think
Yes.
she came up with that because she would after she did top model for a few seasons, she started to realize that a top model is not this tall girl that's so
Perfect.
slim and look this is not what a top model is about, and that's when she started bringing people from all walks of the world onto the show because she realized that human is more beautiful than being perfect. And
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
I love that. I love that. So I am now. We're gonna go into the last, pretty much second to last one, which is the host hot seat, and I give you the opportunity to ask me any question that you want. I always get like, ooh, this part
Don't
comes
be
up, but
shy.
all
Don't be
right, I'm
shy.
ready. I'm ready though. I'm ready for you. Any question you want to
Um,
ask? Hey,
any question I want
Kiki.
to ask?
Yeah.
I want to know, like, share a little bit how you, with who is on here, as far as short as you can, how you manage with daily energy exchange of being a hairdresser. Like, just straightforward. You know, when they say, when you go to hairdresser shop, I always chatting and labrish. But that for a
Yeah.
fact, I know. That's a no-no
So
in your establishment.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know.
I'm very
So,
so over the years, I learned that you have to have control of your chair, right? That's number one. Having control of your chair also means what type of clients I attract. And I don't know what year that I realized that I attract more of a clientele of older, wiser people because when it comes to their hair and when it comes to them actually connecting with me as their stylist, it's something very important to them because you have to trust the person that's over your head. That's a big deal, right? Um, and dealing with the energies, and I'm not perfect at um, straining out the clients that are not for me. Sometimes I would get a client that's not for me, but they would quickly know how to adjust themselves when they come into my salon. Um, because I for one I don't never do hair under a bad spirit. If anything that I'm going through, I leave it at the door, and I'm a totally different person, and it's so natural to me now. It's helped me with meditation as well, because and I sage as well because those energies that's around me every day. And when they tell me their problems, I kind of started to become an empath in a way to where I would feel what they're going through and take it home with me. And I had to realize that, okay, you have to learn how to leave that there. This is their problem. This is not yours. So how can you find a way to cleanse yourself so that you are refreshed every single day? And that's when I started to tap into meditation and cleansing and using my Palo Santo, because it helps to calm me and to just bring me to a place of a refill, if that makes sense. So I pretty much use meditation to help me with the energies, and I pretty much know how to filter out the clients that are just not for me. I'm one of those stylists that would say I will fire my client because you cannot come in my chair with certain energies. I cannot do your hair if you are in a certain energy space every time you come in. Now, we are all human, yes, but if you have a recurring client that has the same negative aura about them, and you know it makes you uncomfortable doing hair is second nature to me. I could do it in my sleep. So if I get a client that makes me that really gets to my aura, then I know that that client's not for me. You
Mhm.
know, so, and I'm not afraid to say, maybe I'm not the perfect stylist for you. I might know somebody else that I can send you to,
Yes,
because
that's why I say I know, because I know you let them know that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you spin the chair around and said, "Are you sure?
Yeah,
Are you
I try to
sure?"
be I try to be very authentic with my clients and upfront, and I educate. A lot of stylists don't really educate themselves about the business because yes, we're doing hair, but everything else plays into that because we're like plants ourselves, right? What you put in your body and what you eat, and you know, certain your lifestyle plays a huge part in your hair. So if I know that you're living this type of lifestyle and I'm trying to take care of your hair, and you're not cooperating with me, or you're not understanding me, and you come into my chair and it's always the same issue, or it's always a problem or something, I will say, yeah, no, we can't we can't do this together. It's a partnership, it's
Yes,
definitely a partnership. So
yes.
I would definitely say just meditating and leaving my problems at the door, and just filtering out my clients is kind of how I balance that.
So you would say setting boundaries is one, if not one of the most important factors in your
Oh
life.
yeah, 100%, 100%. You have to set boundaries because um, clients will come into your chair anyway, anyhow. I have clients that they apologize for the littlest thing because they respect my space so much, and it's like I'm not that harsh. Like they will come in and they will if they're on the phone or something, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get off the phone," and I'm like, put in an AirPod. You could be on the phone. Like, I don't mind,
So,
but they know that I created this space and this aura for myself, and they feel the energy because I sage my space and I have my plants and I pray over my space and I meditate on my space every day. So I set the je ne sais quoi, whatever you want to call it, for
feng
them.
shui. It's
The
the
feng
feng
shui,
shui.
yeah, that's the word. The feng shui
Yeah.
for them, so that they are at peace when they come in. Because doing your hair is supposed to be something that's peaceful. That's treating yourself, you know. So
Self
I
care.
self care, exactly. So they see that I'm really serious about that. So sometimes the boundaries they think the boundaries are higher than what it is, and it's really not that
You
bad.
set the standard
Yes, yes.
in
I try
everything.
to. I try.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
hundred
everything.
percent,
And it
100%.
shows, personally. And I just want to let you know, people will watch this after, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
I just want to say this lady is not no regular wig maker, hair twister, um, cutter.
Yeah.
She know for barber hair. She know for
Yes.
design. That's one of the
Yes.
first thing I learned about her from that place we met.
Yes.
That
Yes.
she was
Yes.
a
Yes.
female barber. That was
Yes.
before she was a hairdresser that
Yes.
she started
Yes.
doing that. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
and
Yes.
your how you display your creative,
Hmm.
it's beautiful and I love it. And I can tell from black to pink. and it's like
Thank
you can
you.
tell that they feel brand new. Like
Yes.
this is the purpose of a woman going to do her hair.
Yeah, yes, yes. That's so
You
big
know,
for me. Making my clients feel good and learning from them and learning how they operate their day to day life and stuff is so huge because it helps me to do their hair in a way that it's just for them and it keeps them coming back. So I
mhm.
appreciate. I thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
You say
So
two? One more? One to go?
last one. This is the last one. So this is the life gem. You just basically let the people them know, give them one life gem they can leave with, and let them know where they could find you, and that's it.
Um, Life gem. I don't know if you call it a gem, but it's again, it's just my thing.
Hmm.
Remember, you know, women are the core. Women are earth.
Hmm.
So the quicker we like realize our true selves and our purpose, the better it is. The less, the less conflicts. It will be more peaceful. Things will be more easygoing. So, as I
Yes.
always say, just try to exercise patience in your everyday life. Try being as honest as possible. The more honest you are with yourself, the more
Yes.
honest you will become with everyone else around you.
Yes.
So if you find yourself in a state of conflict, this is just how I feel. If you keep finding yourself in a state of conflict, like I keep having to repeat the same cycle over and over again, no matter how I think I'm getting somewhere, I never end up anywhere. That's because 10 out of 10, you're not being honest with yourself.
Yes. Yes.
So that is something I try to practice personally. More and more, I tell myself that
Yes.
every day.
Yes, ma'am.
And, I say be patient and understanding.
Mm, I love
Yes.
that. So,
Yeah.
oh, real quick. So, guys, this is her herbal lymphatic flush, and I'm gonna try on Sunday night because I don't have to work the next day. So, y'all make sure y'all go on her page. She has so much herbal stuff, goodies, and her the charms and stuff that she makes, and just so much to just grab from her. So definitely check
Anything.
her out. And yes, anything herbal for the body, definitely check her out. So anything else you
Yes.
want to add for them?
No, you'll tag me, Original Chinese, and my number. I think my number is in my bio. Oh, they
Okay,
can
cool.
contact me.
Awesome.
Again,
Awesome.
a little site's coming up. I think Julie left maybe because she has a
Yeah.
baby too. Yeah, but
Okay,
that's it for
okay.
the most part. This was really fun,
I'm glad
and
you guys.
we still touched on here and there a little bit
Yes, it's so much
topic.
more, but you see the time, good conversation,
Yes,
there's
yeah.
no time limit for it, and that's what
What
I'm
we'll
learning.
do is, we have to give everyone a chance, right, Miss Scott?
Yes, yes,
So, one day we'll maybe make it a feature, and then I'll show some products,
yes.
show a few herbs. Because I always have. I have a few little things now,
Yeah, show
but
them.
I know how time goes.
Yeah, but
I wanted
listen,
to
I'm
show
worried about you. I'm trying to make sure I'm not keeping you, too much.
I wanted to show this is the red reishi mushroom.
Oh, okay.
You see how it looks like a lung?
Yeah, it looks like a cookie.
It looks like your lungs.
Yes, it does look like your lungs.
So this is for respiratory.
I need that. I'm asthmatic. I need it.
You need
I
it,
need it.
yeah?
Yes.
And these are mushrooms. This too is another mushroom. This is lion's mane. But because I have it in a dry state, I put them in powders.
Yeah.
So you can use them like if you're a coffee drinker, you can substitute these these two in particular and
Yeah.
another mushroom turkey tail. You can substitute all those for drinking coffee in the morning. And it's naturally an antioxidant and it does give you the energy too.
Wow.
Yeah, and it helps
Okay.
build your immune. And
Okay.
I have clove because I knew we were going to talk about womb. So
Mm.
this is a one herb. Every people know clove.
Mm-hmm.
You use it to cook. You can use it too if you have a toothache. You grind
Oh.
it out. Yeah, like it's like a pimento bean,
Mm-hmm.
clove. So if you're doing a womb cleanse, you can boil up the hot water, grind, like break the clove apart a little bit to release some of the oils. Like if you have a martyr,
Mm-hmm.
break it apart a little bit, release some of the oils, put it in the hot water. You can drink a little bit, like a quarter cup, and then you can sit over the pot with the hot water for a steam. That that's a mild
Oh.
steam. That's safe enough for you to do after every period.
Mm.
That's not gonna disrupt anything that's rebuilding and regenerating itself.
Okay.
And I had another tea, but this is like a male version of a a womb a womb flush, but this is for the men. This is hard to see. It has
Mm.
coconut root, cheney
Oh.
root.
Okay.
It has elderberries in there. So this is
Mm-hmm.
for the men that has hectic days or just being on the road in general. Men don't
Yeah.
like to admit that they have low iron.
Mm. They don't like to admit that they have anything.
They don't like to, right? But a lot of men do suffer from low iron,
No
and
iron.
that's
Yeah.
why that's a part too why a lot of men are always so angry and miserable. They don't know
Mm.
what's going on inside of their body because they got to be masculine.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, and another thing that you can pay attention to is like men that always have like a sinus or some type of a dampness in their lungs. Those types of people get irritated easier. Those types of men are easily irritated, and that's the chi
So when
deficiency.
it's a what deficiency?
A chi deficiency. It's a blockage. It's yeah. There you see how with the yin and yang, and it flows right through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
their chi is being blocked. The true beauty. That's the true beauty. The true essence of human beings
So
when they're when you're
will that herb help that and
yes.
also to help the allergies as well?
Yes, it does.
Mm.
It does. And then
Okay.
I just had some little feminine herbs after. This one is the butterfly pea.
Oh.
It gives the color. It gives the color, and it also medicinal. And then I have some rose petals. Not a lot, just a little
Okay.
stuff I wanted to share.
Okay, cool. I have to get the mushroom and that the male herb one that you were saying.
Yeah,
Listen, I have to make a trip over to your house one of these
yeah.
Sundays.
Anytime,
To spend
anytime.
a good hour making sure I get
And
everything
then
that
one
I
day
need.
I'll just pop on you and we can just record. It don't have to be no live nothing. You save it
Yeah,
and you share
yeah.
it whenever you
And
want to
we
share
share
it.
it. Of course, of course, of course. You know I'm always about that. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much, Carlene. I am honored that you was able to come on and
Thank you.
just speak to the people and just join with me tonight. It was such a blessing for me. So let's cheers. I have this is
Thank
look.
you.
I finished
Don't
it.
worry, I got you. I got you.
I finished it. But let's cheers. Thank you for great conversation. Thank you for the
Thanks for
wisdom and the
having
knowledge that you
me.
shared tonight. And like I always tell my people that when I start, me starting this, um, as I grow with doing this, I'm going to bring my people back on a different platform, and more people will get to see you guys, and we will just get to all just spread wisdom throughout.
Mhm.
So I thank you so much, my dear. Have a
Thank
blessed
you.
night,
Thanks for
and I
having
will.
me. And I'll see you
Yes,
during the week. Yes.
yes. I'm going to send you a quick picture. there's something in here that I have to send a picture about and ask for your advice. So
All right. Thank
stay
you.
tuned.
Yes. All right.
All right,
Save
bye.
it so I
All
can
right.
save it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course,
All
of
right, my
course.
sister. Thanks.
All right, bye.